all this time, all of this season. I'm looking forward to one thing, and that is getting better during the offseason. Welcome to the offseason episode of Tennessee Titans franchise. We've got a lot to go into. We got players ready to negotiate, scouting college players, free agency, maybe make a trade or two. We're done with the season. We're going to simulate through the playoffs. We're going to see who wins the Super Bowl. We're going to do everything on the agenda in today's video. Hopefully you guys are ready. If you guys are, strap in. Let's get the offseason started, going, ripping, whatever you want to say. Now, Pro Bowl rosters, as we are at the Pro Bowl, we'll go see if we have anyone. Jeffrey Simmons, Azeez Al-Shaair, Kevin Byard's a free safety in here. We'll check the final stats on the season. Will Levis, 2,000 yards, not the greatest pass completion percentage, only 12 touchdowns and a lot of interceptions. Rushing, Derrick Henry had a great season, 203 carries, only 5 per carry. It's not only 5, like that's obviously a lot. 1,050 yards, 10 touchdowns. Tajay had a great rookie campaign as well, playing a pretty big role. DeAndre Hopkins on an otherworldly season, averaging 21 yards per catch, which is crazy. 9 touchdowns, had over 1,000 yards. Treylon Burks was good. He missed some time in the beginning of the season. And then Chika Okonkwo was also great when he got the ball. Kyle Phillips was underrated all season long. You see this average yards a game, only 26, but when he got his opportunity, his name called, he did really well. Tajay played a role in the receiving game. Defensively, Azeez Al-Shaair, 143 tackles. Kevin Byard with 130. Monty Hooker next up with 108. TFLs start with Jeffrey Simmons, 44 and 5 sacks led the team. Azeez Al-Shaair's second in TFLs on the team and second in sacks as well. So Azeez Al-Shaair had a great season, led the team in interceptions as well, with Fulton getting 4. Quet the ball hawk. Segun Alabi, if you guys aren't curious, or if you guys are curious who he is, then you guys clearly have not been watching. It's been such a roller coaster of a season, and those were the numbers to cap it off. MVP to Patrick Mahomes. This list is full of just quarterbacks. Coach of the year was Nick Sirianni. I doubt we'll see us on there. Then we go to the AFC. Offensive player of the year, Travis Kelce is your winner there. No players of ours. Defensive player of the year is Azeez Al-Shaair, with Jeffrey Simmons coming next up. We had 2 of the front runners, and that is always great to see. 44 TFLs in a season. Jeffrey Simmons was absolutely electric. Caleb Shudak wins kicker, so best kicker in all of the AFC. That being said, we have 3 upgrades for Simmons, Shudak, and Azeez Al-Shaair, and with Jeffrey Simmons, we're going to try to make him better against the pass, trying to get to that quarterback. We'll go with power. Power moves obviously upgraded to 91. Azeez Al-Shaair is a good weapon and could be better in the block shedding department, but if we're not going to be using him as much, I want him to get all the stuff that we don't need him to, like, he doesn't need to be user to be great. And that being said, awareness and pass coverage needs to go up. Caleb Shudak though, kick power +2, so we're up at 95. Caleb Shudak punching in his ticket to be one of the better kickers in the league in just year number 1 as a starter. And the Eagles win the Super Bowl, 27-19. Terrell Edmonds wins that Super Bowl MVP. Normal MVP Nick Sirianni was your coach of the year. Offensive player of the year was Travis Kelce. Defensive player of the year was Azeez Al-Shaair. And Bijan Robinson and Will Anderson cap off rookie of the year awards. We'll view some retirees, and Ryan Tannehill will actually retire, which is something to look at here as a team. And no, we can't really bring him back as a bridge quarterback even if we wanted to. Aaron Rodgers, Trent Williams, Calais Campbell, Jason Kelce retires. Julio Jones, former Titans legend. Jason Pierre-Paul loves those fireworks. Mock draft number 3 is indeed out, and we'll check it out. Rashawn Montag is predicted to go number 1 overall to us. It's looking a little interesting. Chris Foote was never really a huge fan of his. Patrick Stevens, though, someone I'm kind of interested in, someone I've kind of lost interest as well. And then you can keep going down the board. Greg Lawrence, I love. Deontay Manning's, I think, fine. I think I might have even taken him off of my scouting, actually, now that I think about it, or off my my favorites. Aaron Guy's fine, nothing insane. Then we have all of these guys. Nico Autry does have interest in coming back. I don't want him back. I mean, I'd like to put Kevin Austin on our practice squad again. That was kind of fun. And a pretty interesting class overall. Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, Derrick Henry, and Amari Cooper, Levante David, just a bunch of heavy top-end veteran. Maybe a solution at middle linebacker for us for next year would be Levante David, if I'd consider that, but we can keep going down the board and look for depth. Here he is. Antonio Gibson, one I really love, and I would not mind having him on the team. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, only 86 speed. Never mind. What a turnoff. Here's another guy I was really interested in, is KJ Hamler to come in, and I think that he would just like work with our team really well. So maybe look to pursue KJ Hamler as a little tiny speedster that could play out of the slot. Damian Lewis is here. year, he was on my list, and it's just something to keep in the back of my mind, along with Matt Hennessy. Ooh, if Cesar Ruiz had any interest at all, I would be more than happy to try to bring him in. Same thing with Terrence Steele. Mike Dana strikes a little interest of mine. If we can find, yeah, James Houston strikes a lot of interest for me. And Unique Ngakoue would have been very interesting if he had interest. I would definitely consider it. Frankie Louvu, if he had interest, would be insane. No words can describe how much I wish we could have Frankie Louvu, though. I have interest in both Jordan Brooks and Devin White, but they both have no interest back. Willie Gay for a year wouldn't be the worst. Another great athlete that would be really fun and just play a nice role. No Igbenogany's here interesting just because of like the age would be very pursuable in my opinion, and maybe developable. Yeah, that's not a word. Now there's one player I was really hoping that was going to be here, and that was Isaiah Simmons. That would have been a dream pick, but it's not happening, and that's fine. I'll make my peace with it eventually. Now Shaquille Griffin's interesting. If we would give him like a 1-year deal to come in and play, wouldn't be the worst thing ever. Shaq Griffin got interest in the team. I don't think that that would be the worst. That's the first official offer that we are putting up. Now here's where it gets interesting. Do I want to pursue a running back? I don't know how heavy I want to go after him. I don't know how big a deal it is if I don't get him, but I also look and intend to, like, at all costs replace running back right now, because Derrick Henry is no easy role to fill. And our next offer probably does go out to KJ Hamler. It would just be so much easier and a fluent offense with him involved, and we'll make sure to get that point across to him and tell him that he would play a bigger role than he's ever played before at the NFL level. Quez Watkins, if he had interest, would also be one of the interesting ones, but other than that, we'll go after Willie Gay. 1-year deal for him, as long as he wants, you know, money. I'm sure he will be interested. I want to go after Matt Hennessy, but I think that'll be a stage 2 thing. I would rather get a more important and better player, Mike Dana, who would be a rotational edge rusher for us. So these are the players we're going after here in stage number 1. And, you know, if we get him, good. If we don't, it's not a huge deal. Guys like Shaq Griffin and Antonio Gibson and Willie Gay even are okay to lose. But KJ Hamler and Mike Dana are ones that I want, and it obviously shows with the offers that we have on them. But I'm going to go through and I'm going to dot the I's, make sure that we're not missing anything, and then I'll do the evaluating offers. And since we're going to try to bring in Mike Dana, I don't think we need to make an emphasis to get either one of these guys. So yep, this looks about right. Shaq Griffin, Antonio Gibson, Willie Gay, KJ Hamler, and Mike Dana. We will evaluate these offers early. We're not going after any big hitters. We did bring in Shaq Griffin, Willie Gay, KJ Hamler, and Mike Dana. We are still the leading offer on Antonio Gibson, let alone the only offer he has on the board. Now we're going to go look for our second wave of players. And Yosh Nijman to come in and play like just some random tackle on our team would be more than appreciated. I'd even give him a little bit more money than I'd probably be offered, but it's just such a heavy incline in money that we'd have to pay him because there's just no interest there. And that's one of the reasons I'm not going after some of the players that don't have interest in us, because it's just so much money that is getting thrown at them that we don't need to throw at them in particular. And it's just kind of like a waste of like $5 million a year even for some of these guys. And we'll go after Antonio Gibson once again, like I mentioned. Noah Igbenogany for 4 years, I believe. DJ Wanham, I'd like to bring in. Yosh Nijman again, and Matt Hennessy. We get both Nijman and Hennessy, so we get some linemen to help us out along on the other side of the line as well. DJ Wanham to come in and play an opportunity edge rushing role, so like opportunistic, I should say. And Noah Igbenogany has been approached by a better offer than ours. I don't think I want to go any higher than the last one I had offered him, which looked a little bit like this, but I would be willing to do probably this maximum, and if that'll get it done for him, then that'll get it done for him. And then Antonio Gibson once again will just sit here, and Igbenogany is ours for the next 4 years to develop and hopefully try to get taken under someone's wing and be another one of those guys. If he plays a role, great. If not, it's not a huge deal. He'll just be a good reserve role in case any injuries step in and we need a good player. And like they said, college pro day results and combine results are out, and Devin Weary seems very, very good. 4.24 at his pro day and a 4.29. So even a cornerback like Gabriel Poe, who runs a 4.35, second fastest corner, A man coverage, B zone coverage with a bunch of C's all over the place, gets that much more intriguing now that we know his athletic attributes, and just stuff like that helps us out a lot and get a good gauge and a good read on some of these players, a little bit better than we did just a couple weeks previous. Julius. So far has been a weak class for us. Shaq Griffin, the best of the bunch at 79 overall, to come in and play corner for us. Willie Gay, KJ Hamler, who I'm actually quite fond of. 96 acceleration, 94 speed would not be bad to put in the slot. Give him some wide receiver screens. And still just going after Antonio Gibson. If he joins, he joins. If not, then so be it. But he has no other offers. And I do see Levante David here. He wants a little less money. If he wants to sign on for $9.5 million, 1 year deal, I don't think that that would be the worst deal possible and out there. I'm even going to lower the money a little bit more here, just to not even $9.5 million. So we'll go after David and Gibson. Go ahead and evaluate both these offers, and hopefully they are both on our team. Levante David, superstar X Factor linebacker, comes in, and Antonio Gibson, star development receiving back out of Memphis, who has been playing for the Washington Commanders for a couple of years, and will come in, and I anticipate him to have a role in the offense. Looking around the league, big names like Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, and Derrick Henry have all signed elsewhere. The Baltimore Ravens will inherit Derrick Henry. Lions for Austin Eckler, and we already knew about the Texans. Amari Cooper. Oh, wow. Eckler and Cooper both headed to the Lions. We got Levante David. Bobby Wagner's also a Lion. Texan is Odell Beckham Jr. need help, and another Lion. Oh my, and another Lion. Cesar Ruiz might be the steal of this one. Goes to the Lions. Now, Chase Claypool was an interesting one. Had he had interest in us, I might have pursued, but other than that, kind of just fine letting him walk. It's not difficult to see him go or anything. Good size and a phenomenal athlete for his size. Kenneth Murray, another Lion. So like I said, we'll finish this class with this list of players right here, and we get significantly better in my opinion. So I'm going to take a minute. I'm going to take probably a lot longer than a minute to scan over the pro day college results, all that, and the combine, and reassure myself on some of these things. I can go down my favorites list and look and see, okay, there's good acceleration here, but nothing insane. And a guy like Greg Lawrence, who is a phenomenal athlete, and this is huge, Clyde Claxton, who to me looks like a very good receiver in the middle of the first round. Runs a 4.37 at, I believe, 6'3", at 6'3", 230. 4.37, and just has all these attributes. Clyde Claxton just becomes that much more appealing. And this is what I love to see. Jalen Reynolds, someone I was looking at second to third round, and could be possibly even our first pick in the draft if we elect to trade down, which is circling in the back of my head. A juke move, B awareness, ball carry vision, C carrying isn't great, A catching, A to C catching, and A to C catching traffic is obviously quite intriguing as well. Now this is insane. Otis Nash, someone I was not anticipating to have 4.3, like low 4.3 speed, is 5'11", 197, 23, a little bit more age on him, a little bit more tread, or a little less tread on the tires. Is that right? Is that, yeah, that seems right. Iowa, obviously a very explosive kind of player with a few things to like. Rob rushing from the 3 to 4 range, looks like a phenomenal athlete with a lot of ace to go around, and one thing I'm very fond of is his blocking ability. Now this is what I struggle with here. It's only 6 for the center, but it says that he has decent strength. I was hoping for it to be a little bit better, but class athlete. If we knew more about Reggie Givens, he could be a really valuable asset to us, but until then, it looks like this guy, Markel Tompkins, looks really good. Oscar Irving, someone on a day 3 pick, would not be horrible. Now this is someone I'm even more fond of than anybody this far down the board. Joseph Klein, 4.49, and his skills speak for themselves. C play rec, B block shedding, A hit power, B tackling, and a field general type, someone that can really come in and step up, be a leader, a late round pick, got some grit on him, everything like that. So I think we are pretty much done in the off-season side of things. I won't look at the recap or anything, but go around, make my decisions for the draft, really evaluate everything. I don't want to make any wrong moves here. First things first, mock draft 5 still has the same order going down for the top. So the first round is basically the same. Now I have a few focus players written down and some in mind that I really want to give chances. So we're going to give it to Jacoby Dorsett, who's a guard. Jalen Reynolds, that super fast running back I was showing you guys earlier with a juke move, I believe. And then left outside linebacker Reggie Givens, who if he's good, he could be a great pick down the board. And our team looks like this headed into the draft, as Traylon Burks is playing down -5 with morale, which is crazy, but he is a 76 overall, tied with KJ Hamler. And then we have Kyle Phillips down here, who's kind of becoming irrelevant as time moves forward. Levante David obviously stands out pretty big. DJ Wanham now in this team. And then on the line, Mike Dana down here. Tier Tart, who's back from injury, who had broken ribs. Shaq Griffin now coming into play for us. McCreary would still play that one spot. He was just too good last year not to. Now that the draft order is set, it'd be a lot easier and more subtle for me to trade and actually work with what we've got. I know this might come as a surprise to you guys, but I'm going to trade down round, and that's almost 100%. I don't like taking the pick at number 1-1, especially when we don't have anyone that I'm 100% interested in and in on. Oh shit, this actually went through. Okay, well, we moved down to, I believe, the 1-8 spot, and then we get that 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 5th round, and then a next year first. I did not expect this to go through, so we trade down to that 8 pick. Then we have the 33, the 40, 70, 72, 97, 5, and then we have a 6 and 2 7ths, and then 2 first-round picks next year. And I would even look to sell the 8 headed into the draft, but until then, we will hold off on that and look for a little bit more of that mid-range and late sort of picks. But next stage is the draft. We'll head in after our blockbuster trade, moving from the number 1 overall pick, and we'll start drafting. So a lot to evaluate for me. With the Commanders now in that number 1 overall pick, they might look to improve themselves in their corner room or go for that offensive and defensive line. Probably not the defensive line, as they have they made it very clear that it's good. Who will they pick at the number 1 overall pick? It is going to be DeMar Cook, right tackle out of Florida State. Next up is the Bears on the board, going with Devin Weary, the corner I would have considered at number 1 out of Texas A&M. Phenomenal athlete. They're getting a great player. And then the next corner off the board, Daniel Melton goes. Jamal Wilkins off the board. The Buccaneers help Kalijah Cansey over there on that defensive line that they're looking to get a little bit younger. Dylan Ziegler off the board, the right tackle. None of these are favorite players of mine other than Devin Weary. Now here it gets interesting, because I did like Gabriel Poe. Don't know why I call him Gabriel. It's Gabriel. Just ignore that. As you guys can see, my board right now headed into pick number 7. Where's our favorite player? It was only down to Rashawn Montag, who I would consider trading down again. And he's not even a player I wouldn't miss this. I would miss this. All right. B block, shooting, B awareness, A power moves, B tackling. I wouldn't consider him at number 8, even inside the top 10, because of that unsure finesse moves, I believe it is, that we're lacking on him. Goodson, the defensive tackle out of Auburn. No! Oh my God! I just simulated over our pick. Rashawn Montag is going to be the one. We could have just gotten so much more draft assets, but we aren't going to anymore. Oh my God, it could have been so much worse, but Rashawn Montag, welcome to the Titans. Oh my heart attack. Oh my God. That's huge stuff. Well, moving on. My next favorite player is 20 picks down the board, which would just be at the end of the first round. So we'll have to move forward here. Oh my God, my heart is pumping right now. Trent Culver off the board, go down to Sean Tyson, a corner that I kind of wasn't a huge fan of. I still can't get over the fact that I just simulated. This is all on me. Oh my God. And the Biletnikoff winner, Trevante Herbert, goes, and I would never take him this early. Chris Foote, another wide receiver out of Tennessee, on his way to the Bills, hopefully be a good playmaker over there. And then Stephen Flemons, another corner I wasn't so fond of. Sammy Bailey. I swear Spillman was one of the top players at the beginning of this year. Now he is pretty far down. Deontay Manning, a corner that I was on board with until just too recently, to the point where he was booted off my board. And Ray Thomas goes, someone I liked early and then knew more about and got worse. Billy Atkins, I believe, might be the first quarterback off the board. And then Ronald Strong, I almost called him Donald Dong. Greg Lawrence, the tight end, off to the Chargers, gets a little interesting because I did like him. And playmaker Patrick Stevens is still on the board. Grant Ellington, Jacoby Dorsett, who we know a lot more about now thanks to the scouting, looks like a good athlete, get out in space and work, and does look worthy of a pick coming up here. I don't really know. He's a power archetype and he struggles definitely in the finesse department, but not by much. Then obviously Clyde Claxton, who is a 4.37 but runs so well and then looks so good. Grant Ellington, the tackle that we would have considered at a couple picks from now, does get taken. Tracy Woods off the board. We're hoping that players don't get sniped right in front of us. I do have to remember our pick is coming up. I can't just continue to stimulate like this. I'm not going to consider trading up from here to there. Colts go Aaron Guy, Michael Thomas now the left tackle, I'm aware, and Patrick Stevens does go off the board, leaving us a couple of options. It's between Jacoby Dorsett and Clyde Claxton. I believe I will trade down, just like 3 picks or something, and if the next player, basically let the CPU take control. But Clyde Claxton looks really good. Done deal. Guerrer and Kramer will be across for a second. We move down basically 2 picks and acquire next year's 6th and then this year's 6th. The Rams will take Jacoby Dorsett, and the Bears are in need of a receiver. Will we take our bet here? and go one more. I should have traded for this pick instead of the next because they could take Clyde Claxton and crush our dreams. They don't. Oof, very impulsive decision by me to let that one fly. We will take Clyde Claxton at the top of the board here. 6'3" physical, A catching traffic, B catching, runs in the 4.3s at 6'3", just looks like a good player. Normal development sucks here. And then our next pick is coming up in just 4 spots, and we don't have anybody other than Dion Parnell, who I have liked here. 6'1", 207, pretty good athlete at the position. B awareness, B hit power, B pursuit. Not exactly my type of player here. Evan Bradley, Washington State quarterback, off the board. Deion Rogers, the wide receiver, goes to the New England Patriots. And here for the Dolphins, they take Tony Ellington. We are left here at this pick, and we will see what we can get for it. Done deal. Rashad Weaver, Dylan Radons, Hassan Haskins, and a second to move down 1 spot and pick up 2 4th-round picks. I am more than happy with our decision there. We move down 1 spot, and I know exactly who I'm going to take as long as he doesn't get taken here. And luckily, same position. We're going with running back Jaden Reynolds down the board, as long as I can find Jalen. My bad. Already butchered his name. Runs in the 4.3s, has a juke move. C carrying is kind of like not great. Oh, that can always be improved upon though. C catching traffic, B to C catching, A to B pass block, just looks all around great. Give me Jalen Reynolds, 94 speed, 91 excel, the speedster that we need. Now, every pick from now, we have the 6th pick in the 3rd round. Dion Parnell, the LSU kid that we were looking at earlier, goes off, and Jalen Peele. So the safeties are starting to kind of come off the board here. And last pick until I want to trade up. Done deal. Larry Roundtree, a 3rd and a 5th. So 3rd or a 5th, 2 years or a year from now. This year 3rd will help us move up to this next pick here. And then we'll also have a pick in a few from now as well. Just about 10 picks from now, we'll go ahead and pick player, and we'll go to our favorites. And the next one of our favorite, okay, never mind, it's not even up here. We'll just go to all regions, and I'll show you guys where we have to go down to get. We're reaching quite a bit, but Terrence Robinson, tell me this guy does not look insanely good. Great athlete all around, so we have a lot of molding clay with him. I mean, come on, I'm taking Terrence Robinson here this early. Sure, you guys might say it's a bad pick, but I'm saying it's a great pick, and we'll have a center of the future. No need for Aaron Brewer. Doug Smith, wide receiver out of Ole Miss, someone I would have definitely considered, but in fact, Ralph Butler goes off the board. We don't really need that wide receiver position as of now. We brought in enough people to help us out. No way, Bob Rushing was gonna be my pick here. He just gets sniped right out in front of us. That's perfectly fine. It's so fine. It's not fine at all. That's so painful. Also, since we focus scouted Reggie Givens, I did want to see what he was looking at here. So he's a good athlete, nothing insane. B block shedding, B man coverage, A play rec, D finesse moves, A pursuit. So he looks kind of good. Nothing that is ultra insane to me or super like I don't really want him right now. We can offload this pick and get a 2nd round next year, and that would be nice, but we can also just get pick number 80 and a 6th, and a 2nd rounder next year and a this year's 6th is so tempting. I'm doing it. Give me the Niners pick, and then we'll just simulate to our picks. I'm perfectly fine with like anyone we get at this point. Ooh, Markel Tompkins comes off the board. That kind of worries me now that I'm thinking about it, because we're definitely gonna have slim pickings far down the board. So it looks like we made a little bit of an issue for ourselves by trading down and not really compensating fairly in this class. Instead, we go for next class. Never mind, I forgot about this guy right here, Joseph Klein, one guy that I was really high on. 4.49, best athlete in the middle linebacker class with B block shedding, A hit power, C player X, C zone coverage, B tackling, A to C awareness. His injury could be quite bad. That could be what's dropping him this far. Joseph Klein, hidden development, 90 speed, 90 acceleration. I'm just scared because his injury, now that I look at it, could be a little bit of an issue, but we get ourselves a stud middle linebacker, Joseph Klein. We have 7 picks from now. We're on the board. We're on the clock. 7 picks from now. I need to get my shit together. We're hyped. We're drafting. We need life in our veins right now. Oscar Irving, Alabama linebacker, goes to that's the Vikings. Okay, Jesus. And our next favorited player is Alex Woodbury, but like I said, I don't really like the value from here. Rashad Crocker, this is an interesting one. The 21-year-old out of Iowa. C D here. He's got some pretty good he's all right. He doesn't look insane. B power moves to C block shedding, and C awareness looks fine, but I'd look more down the board at my favorites. So it does look like Alex Woodbury is like the quote unquote best available. And like I said, he's got all the intangibles, but we need a lot to go our way for him to be good right off the bat. We don't even need him to be good off the bat, but I'm not going to just gamble away this pick with D play recognition, C awareness, B catching. Like, it's just not really worth it. He is definitely sculptable. We can definitely mold him into a better player than he looks right now, but I just don't feel safe with this pick. And that being said, surprise, surprise, I'm probably going to trade down. Plus, we have a pick 4 picks from now. If Woodbury's still there, I can consider it. But if not, I have an idea. So look at all the players we still have left. We have 31 players left still on our board. Carlos Diaz is not a must get, but I wouldn't mind him as our next pick. And then just looking down the board, Kenny Claxton looks fine, but Kari McLaughlin, he stands out a little bit. And then you have a few guys down the board that are pretty good. I like Tavares Clemens. So what I'm gonna do is just try to make the best of the situation for where we're picking and the value we get in return. That's all we can do right now. So I like this one right here. We can turn it into a 3rd rounder next year as the 49ers seem eager, and then we can just pick up a 7th round pick to get a UDFA, pretty much of our choice. I'm not gonna accept that quite yet now that I think about it. We probably should look around a little bit more. We can just get a bona fide 3rd round pick from the Minnesota Vikings, 4th round, just move down a tad. Like, this is not even worth doing. Like, I don't understand this at all. So we will just take the future 3rd from the San Francisco 49ers. Like I said, I like my sure things, and we are for sure moving up a draft position. Steelers, the pick in front of us goes Frank Willis. So that would leave Woodbury still on the board, but I don't think that that's the position or the way I want to go. And the one I'm really considering right now is Carlos Diaz. There's just too much to like about him to just let him slip away. Oh man, he looks good. Carlos Diaz, I wouldn't mind him, but he's not supposed to go for another 50 picks. So that obviously gives me some sort of, motivation to take someone above this. And plus, our next pick comes early in the 5th round. We really want to take that. It's a good 25 picks from now. Rashad Crocker is very interesting at this spot, but I just don't find myself doing that. Like, I'm a strong, like, my guy. All right, I'm in beliefs of like, this my guy, I'm taking him, and that just isn't Rashad Crocker. My guy here is Carlos Diaz, but I don't. It sucks. Done deal. Chance Campbell, a 4th and a 5th. We move up for. Well, we move down 10 picks, and then we pick up the 19 and 20. You guys see it. We pick at number 23, so we pick 10 and 11 picks from now. Peter Parker goes off the board right in front of us, Vanderbilt corner. That's a little interesting, to say the least. So Woodbury is still here. Looks like Crocker actually did get taken, though, which is kind of funny. But right now, we're worried about other things. Carlos Diaz, you'll be my first of these 2 picks. Carlos Diaz, like I said, someone I'm very comfortable with at this pick. Let's go. Normal development doesn't stink right here. Kind of what we were expecting. 86 Excel is really good for just a 79 speed. Like, that's a good ratio. And I am very tempted to go Alex Woodbury at this pick. 6'3", 207, 21 years of age. He is a very moldable prospect. And I mean, I will look and see if like we have proper amount of picks for the players I want down the board, but it's just so hard not to take him right now. This guy down the board just a little bit does strike and pique my interest a little bit with C block shedding, B power moves, B player X, C awareness, C tackling, just a little bit more than Woodbury would. 308 power rusher. Could come in and play D tackle plus like 3-4 end for us. Aaron Bates, I just can't miss out on a player like this late. I'm sorry to do it to Woodbury, but we're gonna go ahead and pick Aaron Bates. Definitely an over pick, like overdraft right there for sure, but we'll do that. I'll be pretty comfortable with that for sure. And just kind of checking all the boxes, making sure that we're not going to miss some incredible talent that I have on my favorites or any of my favorite players, any of the guys out of here. Cam Gordon, I would like to get by the end of this one, though, come in and be like a developmental tackle, maybe take over for, a tackle spot by the end of the year. I don't really know how realistic that is, though. Done deal. 3 5th-round picks for Caleb Farley. Now, this is an ultra realistic move, in my opinion. We don't like Caleb Farley. All right. He's been a little bit of a bust. 1st-round pick. Didn't pick up his 5th-year option. And now Caleb Farley is now just going to be abandoned for a lot of players that can materialize and be better than him in the long run. And that, in my opinion, is just the best possible move we could have made. And whether you guys disagree or agree, Caleb Farley didn't play much of a role at all. And when he did, he was actually quite lackluster at it. From my point of view, that is an absolute win. Alex Woodbury is still here at the at this point in time where we pick up next. And elite acceleration 442, C man coverage, C awareness, B catching, C to F injury. If his zone coverage is a B or even a C, that's a huge pick for us. But if it's a D, it's really gonna sting. And he doesn't really have the characteristics or anything to really tell that he's gonna be a great player. Next up on our favorites list would be Luke Oliver, but not really sure how much I want Luke Oliver, as he will kind of just be a player that I'm not really looking for. And F block shedding turns me off of Darren Graham immediately. Just gonna abort out of that one as quick as possible. So now we have no one in the top 50 here that I would really want other than Woodbury, and then maybe Judge as someone to come in and just be a speedster kick returner type player. Emmanuel Judge, who is a 4.37, great acceleration, great agility. Let's go Emmanuel Judge at this spot. 94 speed, 92, and like I said, 93 change of direction. Just a kick returner. And it sucks for us because you remember that guy that I was talking about, that tackle that I wanted before this whole thing was over? Yeah, he's gone now too. So we're gonna scramble a little bit and look for, you know, someone worth this pick, as there is quite a few down the board. Look at this. Orlando White looks good. Wow, there's actually a few UDFAs, or a lot of UDFAs that look good, and we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 picks left in this draft. Bernard McLeod might be where I start with this one, to come in and be a full-time fullback. I'm like gonna consider it, obviously, but I don't know if that'll be the pick. Sure, if I keep scrolling, some of these guys are gonna stand out at me, as Matthew Witt already did, but I don't really know. I'll keep looking around. A really athletic center that can probably kick out and play guard at 6'3", 311. What's the guard looking like? So 6'2", 300. So Devin Wilder can come out and play a little bit of guard for us if we needed him to. So many like things that just don't look good on these players, but they're not supposed to. They're like potential UDFAs, obviously. Let's do it. I'm gonna take him. Alex Woodbury, welcome. You are now a Titan. You've just been staring me in the face for way too long. This will be my next pick right here, Jeremiah McIntyre. B to D awareness, if that's good, that could be a good overall tell. But if not, he just looks like a solid prospect. Nothing insanely gifted about him athletically, but 89 strength, and he's got some of the fundamentals down. I'll take him. And my running back left us. That was going to be my pick this time around, was Tavares Simmons, or I can't remember what his name was, but he was probably going to be decent, and he's now gone. He has left us, and he's no longer having a chance to become a Tennessee Titan. The pick here will be the fullback Bernard McLeod. We'll just have to take him. He'll be a full-time fullback for us, so we don't have like Trevon Wesco or some tight end coming down playing it. Dory McLeod's interesting. I know we've gotten a lot of people in this draft class named McLeod, but slot, he's 6 foot, almost 200, B catching, C man coverage, and he's got slot archetype. So if he can come in, a decent athlete, nothing insane, but B block shedding, B catching, like I mentioned. C to F awareness could suck for Dorian McLeod, but he comes in with some of the fundamentals. He's someone to look at for this pick. Florida's Gerald McDougald will do well here. C awareness, C block shedding, finesse moves, B power moves. We have a lot of for sure's with him, so Gerald McDougald will come in 6'5", 295, come in from Florida. So Emmett Pickett is a good athlete, which I like about him, and A to C catch in traffic, B catching, C pass block, A to C run block. Looks like someone that is definitely up for the pick here. And we have a few guys as well that might want to step up and be good, but I don't know. A lot of question marks with everybody else except this one right here. B to D pass block is fine. He's a power archetype, and if his run block power is only at a C and pass block power is at a D, probably doesn't like really qualify as like our best pick for now. Right now, the one that stands out to me is definitely the tight end Pickett. And this guy right here looks pretty bad too. Let's get Pickett in here if we could. We can't, so we have to go all the way back up. Emmett Pickett, Iowa tight end, 6'3", 240. Looks good. 83 speed, 81 excel. Welcome to the team. We have this pick, the 28th and the 32nd left. Who's left on our board? We still have a few players. It has you know, Devin Wilder, like I said, probably the next up-and-comer. Devin Wilder, welcome to the team. And there is a corner that has fallen from round 2 to 3, and same with this guy right here. Eric Ruiz as well, but these two look particularly interesting. Shaq Ellis, runs in the 4. Oh boy, yeah, these guys suck. Okay, that's why they are not good athletes at all. Man coverage, I just look for the better zone coverage corner and then make him a converted safety, but I don't even want to touch that. We'll go down and try to find someone else to come in and be good. I don't think that any of these guys will come in to be good, but I'm talking 65 plus overall. Matt Gay, the tackle, will come in and play. It doesn't look good, but he'll do. The last pick of the draft, and who will we go with here? We might, I mean, I'll search around for a little bit, but I have my idea. 6'2", 198. He's got F-man coverage, C press, and he would be one hell of a safety conversion. As could we do this? D play recognition doesn't really, you know, go towards it, but we'll take the athlete out of Clemson. I think that's a little bit better. Make him a safety. He's got zone coverage to rely on. Daryl Patton, welcome to the team as a safety, not a corner, so don't really look at him as a corner. And we'll see how this draft class came out. Huge moment here. Huge. And oh my God, Rashawn sucked. Rashawn Montag was horrible. Normal development, 78 power moves, 63 finesse moves. I knew if his finesse moves sucked, he would not be worth picking. Good athlete, 75 tackle, 75 block shedding. I did not want to take him. We got stuck with him anyway. 6'3" out of Wisconsin. Oh man, that's rough. But we've got stuff to look at. Clyde Claxton down the board looks really good. Out of Penn State, been producing good corners as of late. No pun intended. Yeah, he looks good. He actually looks really good. I'm really happy with this pick. Clyde Claxton will come in and be a stud immediately. But like I said, that normal development sucks. That will not make him play as good. But Jalen Reynolds, this one I'm very excited for. 94 speed, 91 excel. That break tackle is going to have to go up. He'll be our receiving back right away for sure. Other than, I mean, Antonio Gibson might play a little bit above him. I don't know. We'll see where the rookie kind of slots in and plays at. Terrence Robinson was really good. He's a 74 hidden development player. Little undersized at 6'2", but we've dealt with that at the center position as of late. And then the power will just have to go up and he'll be a phenomenal player. And we got a really deep class going here. Joseph Klein was pretty good. 4th round pick, and then Carlos Diaz was good. Aaron Bates was fine. Emmanuel Judge was better than others. Woodbury is a 69. That is definitely workable. Jeremiah McIntyre, career backup. Bernard McLeod, Gerald McDougald, and nobody really stood out other than Daryl Patton, who I already switched to safety. He's a 68 overall corner, so that's fine, but no one really stands out as a UDFA other than, I don't know, maybe, or like someone that was a potential UDFA. Alex Woodbury was fine, but McIntyre probably comes in and looks like the best right away. Emmanuel Judge was fine as well. Some of these picks really missed though, but I'm really happy with the core that we got up here through the first, you know, four and a half rounds we were really good with, and we just got some solid role players right away. Sim into next season will be added into the preseason episode next time you guys see me, but the team will look so different, and I mean, perhaps some trades to be made at the deadline. We got guys kind of loose around here like Petit Frere who won't play. Upgraded a little bit of our defensive line, nothing insane or super fun, but Reynolds and Spears and Gibson is a running back room to be reckoned with. Clyde Claxton, KJ Hamler, new to the team. Emmanuel Judge will play kick returner. Diaz is a new backup tight end as well. Wiley really hasn't worked out. Defensively, though, Rashawn Montag, unfortunately, a Titan. Joseph Klein, Willie Gay, Mike Dana new. We've got a lot of things to go around and talk about as the season progresses. No Igbenogany. I didn't realize he'd be playing this far up either. But everything aside, could have had a better offseason for sure. But we'll take the pluses out of it and we'll work with what we got. Keep our season going on. And that will do it. So that'll be all for me. Thank you guys for watching. If you guys enjoyed, consider leaving a like, go down, subscribe, go watch any of my past content. It's a guarantee that you guys will enjoy it. That'll be all. See you guys next time. Deuces.